ESPN Plus and locally on Dubai Sports Channel. MTK, D4G, Round 10 Boxing and Top Rank Sport present 10 3-minute rounds for the WBC International Lightweight Championship. Your judges at ringside: from England, Gary Kitanowski, and from Egypt, Hamed Saeed. Your scoring referee from Spain, Francisco Alonso Rosa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. And for the lucky few in attendance tonight, make some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first in the blue corner, the challenger. Weighing in at 61.8 kilograms. He's a record of 21 wins, 5 defeats and 2 draws. He's the former British Central Area Lightweight Champion. From Yorkshire, UK, Maxie Hughes. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the purple shorts with the yellow trim. Weighing in at 61.4 kilograms. He is undefeated with a record of 12 wins and no losses. 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning defending WBC International Lightweight Champion. From Almaty, Kazakhstan, Damwi Higospada, Viktor Коточигов.
Both fighters ready, limbered up, and we have done the necessaries, and now it's time to get it on. Such a big opportunity for both of them. The biggest test so far for Коточигов. He's unbeaten in 12 so far. Although Maxie Hughes has lost 5 times, he's been stopped a couple of times. That's been at the highest level in the UK. Him and his team brimming with confidence. And Maxie Hughes saying in the build-up to this one that he's watched Kotochigov's fights, and there's nothing that he does or will bring that Maxie hasn't seen before. But we'll see about that.
It's probably true, and I think what he'll think about with Коточигов is that you know, he's technically pretty good, and but he doesn't go through the gears very quick. So he's quite methodical in a lot of his work. It's effective but methodical, and Hughes might think that's something that he can exploit. Good right hand there from Коточигов.
Yeah, I think we've seen quite a bit of him from ringside, and he's been solid, if unspectacular, so far. Some have questioned punch power, whether that's enough. He's got a good jab. There's been a couple of times when we've seen him batting. I think I'll maybe paraphrase you. You felt that he's been in control of a fight, and then you've just wanted to see maybe him take it to the next level.
See, I think he has power. He's not a power puncher. You know, he's not a knockout artist, but I think he has power. But I think if he went through the gears a little bit quicker, then I think he would get more stoppages because of that. I think he has the potential to do that. But also because he's been not spectacular but solid, then sometimes people tend to think he's not as good as maybe he is. I think we'll find out tonight, that's for sure.
Maxie Hughes has sort of fought at lightweight. He's fought at super feather as well, a junior light in the past as well. He's fought for the British title on a couple of occasions in that particular weight division, but he has campaigned at lightweight too. Good start though from Коточигов.
It is, not a lot getting to. I think, you know, Hughes is keeping his shape, keeping those elbows tucked in nice and tight. But yeah, I think it's Коточigov who's trying to make the play, certainly in this first round. It's a good jab though there from Hughes.
Barry said that there's not been loads of engagement so far in this first round. They really are having a good look at each other, plenty of moving around. Коточигов maybe just a bit busier through the second half of this first round.
Good right hand there from Коточигov. See, he has that little bit of injection and pace when he wants to use it, and probably enough to nick him the round, to be fair.
Well, there's Maxie Hughes. It just dawned on me, actually. He came to the ring to the soundtrack of Rocky IV, I think. He was watching that film early on in the day, whiling away the hours. Maybe as part of motivation, of course, that on away soil fighting, maybe that's part of the theme as well. Who hasn't watched those films as inspiration? I don't think there'd be many fighters who haven't watched at least the first 4.
And the crazy part is, when those films were out, you would have called Коточигов a Russian back then. That's because it was obviously the USSR. We didn't, everyone was just put in the same pot. Like us Welsh are called English, of course. And you Scots also.
Here we are into round 2. Maxie Hughes has had a good look at Коточигов in that first round. We're going to see a different approach in the second. Good jab there from the man from Almaty.
Yeah, it was one. He was stepping back as well, wasn't he? Just as Hughes took a step forward, he speared that jab through the guard.
And that's the thing. We've, in watching Коточигов, and same for lots of people, you've seen him do everything solidly well. The knock has been maybe not going through the gears, but the question that hung out there is, he might just be capable of it, to rise to the occasion, and it looks very early on as though he's doing that.
Well, sometimes it needs to be forced out of you, doesn't it? Yeah.
But good fighters can get a response, and Maxie Hughes had signed up only a month or so ago by MTK, got that opportunity against John O'Carroll. He grabbed it. Carroll up in weight on his comeback. That was given as a big excuse, but Hughes was good that night. I think it was a fight. He at least... Oh, he's hurt him, Hughes. What a shot.
He just landed with a straight left hand just before that. Oh, good right hook as well there from Hughes.
Hughes has hurt him. I think he realises it too. He's not putting his foot down, but he clips him again. And suddenly the boxing skills and the brimming confidence of Hughes coming to bear. That was a terrific uppercut with the left hand.
Just before that left hand, it wasn't of any note, but he landed with a straight left as well just before that. It was a good shot. It was nothing like the uppercut. That was a fantastic punch.
And just as it looked as though Коточигов had made such a bright start, there's the big response from Maxie Hughes. Not renowned, not noted as a big puncher, certainly on his record, 4 wins by stoppage in those 21 wins. But if you deliver a shot well, and he's done it again with that left hand on the top of the head, and Коточигов looking a little unsteady here in round 2.
But he's 30 now, Maxie Hughes. He's just sometimes you get that man strength at different times in your life. He's mature now, isn't he? He's filled out a little bit.
I think as well, it's his
confidence.
It's the backing now of a big promotional outfit management company. It's sparring Josh Warrington. It's been part of that team as well. Yeah. He's done 6 rounds with Warrington in the build up to this. Reece Mould, part of that setup, was on the cusp of a British title. And Jake Goodwin, who Sean O'Hagan says is one of Britain's best young talents, just waiting to be unearthed. So that's the kind of team behind Maxie Hughes right now.
I think because he's a natural puncher, he hasn't jumped on Коточигов, but I'm not quite sure yet if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But either way, good round for Maxie Hughes.
Big round for him, big round, and just the response that he needed. And as ever in boxing, just because a fight goes one way in one round doesn't mean it's going to follow the pattern in the next, and that's exactly what you like to see there. Some questions being asked of Viktor Коточigov. We thought it would be. And now, very much that the fight that plenty were hoping for is starting to unfold.
And you've just seen Коточигов in the corner, just a little bit panicked. And you need to come out now and show a good
Corners
response.
10 seconds.
Off his stool early, Коточигов. An eagerness to get back to it.
Round 3.
Into round 3. Probably one each so far early on. Scheduled for 10. Opportunity for Maxie Hughes to gate crash the world rankings. Viktor Коточигов already in the top 15 with the WBC, courtesy of the international title on the line tonight.
See, when you've been hurt, people tend to think it's a bad thing. It's not, you don't want to be hurt, but it's a hurt business. It's how you shrug it off. That's important. It doesn't mean if you're being hurt then you're weak. Of course, a good shot will do that to you. It's how you respond, how you recover from it.
Tried that uppercut again. Hughes worked for him, of course, so well in the previous round. You might just hear Sean Hagan there in his corner shouting to keep his shape and get back to distance, and maybe just getting a little too carried away in that moment. Which is interesting because he was so composed in the previous round when it seemed like he might have had Коточигов hurt.
Good jab there. Missed with the left hand there. Hughes with a lovely little jab.
I think also, Barry, the COVID and lockdown for families across Europe, in the UK, we had it for several months, and we threw much good left hand there. It did give Maxie Hughes the opportunity to spend a lot of time at home with his wife and daughter, and I think he sort of came out of lockdown really sort of refreshed, batteries charged, and I think his soul and his mind in a pretty good place.
The mind thing, people say how psychologically, psychological boxing can be. And that's true. And when you're in a good space, when you're feeling good, you're full of confidence. It can manifest itself in physical presence, and that means full of confidence in your boxing. That's a good left hand there from Hughes.
He really is buzzing now, isn't he?
Yeah, but what's good though? Oh, good shot.
Oh, what a shot! What a shot! Walked him straight onto that. Коточигов hurt. He was about to get straight back up. He's taking his time, which is sensible. He might need it. He is back up, but how hurt by that shot, Коточигov? Well, fair play to him, but is he on borrowed time?
You got to dip low here, Hughes, and then come over with that left hand. Dip down, feint to the body, and dip over the big left hand.
Maxie Hughes going after Коточигов, hurts him to the body again. Oh, a couple of big shots getting through. The referee might have a good look here. He's in trouble, Коточигов, and he stepped in at the end of the round. The referee. Oh my goodness me! What is he doing? Well, there goes the bell. Some extraordinary, confusing refereeing towards the end of that third round, where it looked as though the referee had stopped him. Why he was stepping in to break the fight is at a time when Maxie Hughes was putting Коточигов under pressure. Коточигov shakes his head. No matter what happened, he did so well to delay getting back to his feet when he was badly hurt in that third round.
Even though he never fell on his back, his legs were straight. You always worry with that. When someone goes back when their legs are straight, it's like they are done. It was a beautiful shot. That's not there, it's an uppercut, isn't it?
That's the warning. That's the warning. That's the hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, it's a great shot.
It's the same uppercut, Barry, as he landed in the second.
But it's just so beautifully delivered there. He throws the jab at the top of the head.
Corners 10 seconds.
They've been studying him because when he dips down to the right quite often. You will see him. I have noticed it before, but they obviously have. He's been looking for that uppercut all night.
Well, you wouldn't be surprised. It's the sort of thing that Sean Hagan loves, doesn't he? He loves that side of boxing. The tactics, the techniques, the game plan. And it's been put in place and it's coming to bear. And Maxie Hughes is absolutely buzzing right now, in the form of his life.
Well, Коточигов first got to stay nice and safe. That's the most important part. But also got to show enough resistance so Hughes doesn't do this and walk right through him.
Well, Let's just hope the referee doesn't get in the... What is he doing, the ref? Again, he's giving commands that you used to see in the amateur ranks. He's confusing at best.
It's like the Jose Burton thing recently when he got standing counts.
There's not enough authority, and that would worry me in the short term. But let's hope the fighters sort it out between themselves. Коточигов is in a really, really difficult place right now.
Oh, good shot there from Коточигов. Good little comeback there.
Well, he's hurt him again, Hughes, with a straight left hand. Little wobble there from Hughes with that. Was it just off balance? Was there a tangle off the feet?
Yeah, I couldn't see the feet there. I'm not sure if they stood on his foot a little bit there because he'd worried. I was just about to say he needs to keep that little bit of distance when he's coming forward now, Hughes. He wants Коточигов on the end of the shots like that. A good punch.
Flipped him again with a left
His
hand.
ankle's gone. Oh, the water.
Yeah, he slipped. Not that. I think that's what it was. I think it's a slip again from Hughes. He's complaining about water over in that corner. It may be that Коточигов, who went down in the third, he might just have splashed water on him to try and revive him. He's shown a deal of heart, Коточигov. There's no doubt about that.
So the referee won't stop the fight now to clean it to dry up the water, but he'll stop the fight when Hughes has Коточигov on his last legs, it seems. Also good left hand there again from Hughes.
He hurts him every time he lands that straight left. And Коточигov is trying valiantly, but he feels more in desperation than anything else right now.
He is trying, but also he's really wary to let his hands go because he knows he can be hurt. And it's a horrible position to be in. I understand what it feels like. Just need to try and get it through this round and then get a little bit of confidence in the next if you can. Land with a few shots that'll restore your confidence back.
Trying to come forward, Коточигов. Who'd have thought this? The damage certainly on the cards has been done in this round, but it might just give him a little bit of confidence that Barry was talking about to go forward in the fight.
Hughes is trying to walk him onto that left hand, isn't he? You can see Hughes there. He sat on that left over that left knee there, just edging back, hoping Коточигov comes forward over the front foot.
Well, coming forward at the end of the round, Коточигov, but the damage was done. He was wobbled again early on in that fifth round. So, a break, a pause for breath. End of the fourth, I should have said, not the fifth. We're about to go into that now, but it's a flying start for Maxie Hughes and his team in that corner. Well, they definitely are up against it.
Yeah, that was the long left hand, wasn't it? There, it's just again, I don't think he has loads of power here, Hughes, but he's such a correct puncher. And the timing of it and the control that he has with it is really well delivered. And Kotochigov's in a fight. We haven't seen him in a fight yet, and this is a territory he's not used to, of course.
Round 5.
Into round 5 then. Approaching halfway, Viktor Коточигov in the yellow and blue. Maxie Hughes. Коточigov maybe nicked the first, Hughes the second, and it's been Hughes since. That 10-8 round in the third. He wobbled Коточигov again in the fourth, but Коточigov maybe just getting himself a bit of confidence at the end of the previous round.
The thing is, Коточigov, throwing 1-2s is allowing Hughes to fire back when Kotochigov's coming forward. We've just seen it there. If he comes back with a third and fourth shot, then that maybe stops Hughes from throwing shots then. He has to stay defensive. Again, looking for that. A big left uppercut, Hughes. But all of a sudden, you're seeing things that you never really noticed too much with Коточигов. Oh, that chin stays in the air when he's coming forward, when he's walking close.
Well, that's the thing about this sport, isn't it? Everything is laid bare up there. Everything is exposed. absolutely no hiding place whatsoever. The most demanding of sports.
And a lot of things are hidden when you're having things your own way. That's the thing, you know, it only usually comes out when things are not going great for you.
Which is why that was such a good performance and such a good match for Vanes Bachkov.
Yeah, of course.
We saw in the previous make his debut against an opponent having his 30th fight or so.
And that's why learning fights are so important, and people who are not in the sport don't understand why you would fight someone who don't win any fights, because you need to practice things to get it right, because it's such a dangerous sport that you have to be ready when you get to a certain level. Oh, good shot.
Oh, he's hurt him again, Maxie Hughes.
It's a lovely shot. He sets up, he takes a little step back, and then he took a little step to the right before he let that left hand go there, Hughes.
It was almost more of a hook come uppercut than the previous two straight through the middle. But it's such a lovely shot. He's landed it regularly throughout the fight.
But what was clever there, he's making Коточигов feel as if he's having a bit of success, as if he's pushing him back. But what Hughes is doing, he's sort of going, come on, and then lining him up for that left hand.
And also shows you how those really hard fights against good, strong British and Irish opposition have been, you know, part of the learning curve for Maxie Hughes. Making him the fighter that he's becoming, and I think that's the key word, becoming. Better than ever, looking good. Well, last round, Коточигов trying to get on the front foot, Barry, but was he being picked off again?
Well, a little bit, but I still think it was a good round for him because he didn't get hurt and he got through it, and he was being aggressive and he was trying to do some work, and that restored a little bit of confidence, and he needed that. It wasn't so much about winning the round, it's about just getting through that round without any sort of problems or being hurt, and starting to feel like you're back in the fight. And I think he needs to build on that now.
Regardless of what actually happened on the
scorecards.
Yeah, and he said at the end of the fourth, he just started coming forward a little bit. Maybe he got confidence from that and built on it in the fifth. Still think Hughes won that fifth round. And here we are going into
round six.
I've got Maxie Hughes 4 points up, courtesy of the 10-8 in the third. Коточигов the first. I've got Maxie Hughes taking the next 4. But either way, Коточигов trying to get a foothold back in the fight.
That would be 5 points up with the 10-8, of course. Give him the last 4. Oh no, you're right. I can't count. Ignore me.
We'll get the calculators out.
Me.
But either way, Коточигov,
right.
he needs to find something, because we're down the stretch, second half of the fight. He has been 10 rounds before. We saw him do that a couple of times in 2019.
But 10 rounds all your own way are different. See, Maxie Hughes has been 10, 12 rounds in competitive fights that he's won and lost. So you don't panic. Unless you're seriously hurt, but you very rarely panic then under pressure when you're tired, because you know you have a second gear or a second wind.
Was that just off balance? Was that the footwork? Or was he wobbled again, Коточигов? It was the right hook on that occasion from Maxie Hughes. Yeah, they just the southpaw orthodox. You can see that sort of feet. Maxie Hughes' right foot, the left of Коточигов, and they're coming perilously close in the middle of the ring. I suppose
it's good there from Коточигov.
Yeah, and if you're Maxie Hughes, if you're trying to lure him onto a punch again, you maybe just give away the space for Коточигov to get some room, find some work, get some confidence, build.
Good jab there from Hughes. Yeah, you're right. But what Hughes does, though, he keeps that nice tight defence, keeps his elbows tucked in, keeps his shape very well. Elbows tucked in nice and tight. But Коточигov getting through. It's a good jab though from Hughes, and a slip.
Yeah, it was a slip, but Hughes was straight onto him. He thought he'd hurt him. The referee, to be fair to the referee, did go over to the Коточигov corner in between the last 2 rounds and
throw some more water on them.
He asked them to wipe up the spilled water. But what he is, that was in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, sometimes it's the advertising when they put the strips on. I think sometimes that can get a bit slippery.
Nice body shot, Коточигov.
He's picking his punches quite well, actually, in this round.
It's his best round for a long time. I tell you what, he might be winning this round, Коточигов, if he somehow pulls this one out of the fire. It'd be some performance, and Maxie Hughes would be kicking his backside. I think it's fair to say.
Good shot from Коточигов there, lovely right hand.
Good round. He needed it, Коточигов. He might have just found himself a way back into the fight.
A little bit low there with that body shot, but he was, for the most part of that round there, to be fair, it was Коточигов looking the one to be the busier, looking the one to do the work, and I think Hughes was just looking to line him up for that left hand, but maybe just a little guilty, looking for that one big shot too much. Easily done when you've already hurt a guy, that you're looking just to set that shot that's give you the success, but he needs to get back to maybe forcing the pace here, Maxie Hughes. But that was good. There's a good response. Those last two rounds been a good response there for Коточигov, if I could get his name out, and that's what he needed. For your confidence as well in a fight like this, where he's the first time he's been asked questions, and he responded quite well there.
Extremely well. You can see he's marked up under the left eye.
Round 7.
Into round 7 then. Коточигov maybe just working his way back into the fight. Can Maxie Hughes put him back in his place? Is there perhaps just another chapter to unravel in front of us tonight?
Looks a bit sharper in this round already here, Maxie Hughes. Maybe aware that he might have given away a round or possibly two.
I think Коточигov has to be on the front foot. That is the way he fights. I don't think he can. I don't think he can fight going backwards. But it's a great effort from him. And do you know? I think the key moment for Коточигov, no matter what happens, was when he just paused from getting back up early. He was about to get up at the count of 2 in that third round, and he just went on his knee, took his time, got up about 6 or 7, and that was key for him.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he did the right thing. You just got to just collect yourself and maybe saved him.
And that's just you must be your pride is telling you what I'm not hurt. I'm getting back up. Good common sense prevailed on that occasion. Bought him an extra few seconds, gave him the chance maybe just to clear his mind a little.
God, lovely left hand again there from Hughes. Not the same sort of power as previous, but good landing shot.
And back comes Коточигов.
Oh, good shot there from Hughes again.
This is more like it from Maxie Hughes.
He just tips his head sometimes when he throws that shot, Hughes. Just like to see him come back with that right hook to the body then, when he does that, because all the weight's turned over onto the front knee. He can whip that body shot back in. That's good work again there.
Plenty of scoring shots from Maxie Hughes. He's firing back though throughout now, Коточигov, and he's not being heard in the same way that he was earlier.
Oh, nice left hook there from Коточигov. Just catching Hughes coming in. That's all to do again, your foot on the outside when you have an orthodox and a southpaw. Good again there. Miss him with the uppercut with the right hand over the top there from Коточigov.
And again, lead right hand came back with the left too. Коточигov has been busier. He's got a response for everything that Maxie Hughes has put forward in this round. A couple of clean shots landed from Hughes, a couple of eye catchers, but just a busier Коточigov all the way through. maybe a harder round to score, but I think Kotochigov's working his way back into this. What do you think, Barry?
I went the other way. I think Hughes had a good start, and I think he maintained it for most of the round. I think Kotochigov finished the round stronger, and that's can be quite important because it's the last memory of him doing the better work. But I still thought Hughes, for the most part of the round, was the better guy in there.
Yeah, I've got it the other way, but that might be reflected of those watching from around the world. And that's often the thing, isn't it? When you've got a round that could be split into two halves. Which was the better half? What was the better work? What did you like more?
Well, you get a couple of those, and then the scorecards are massively different. See, that's what happens. But yeah.
Corners 10 seconds.
But the fight in its entirety, when people at home are usually watching it, has the feel of a Hughes. No, in front, you would feel. And on my card, that would say the same.
Round 8.
Knockdown in round 3. And it looked like Maxie Hughes might get a steamroller win, and a pretty sensational win that would have been had he stopped Kotochigov in the mid part of this fight. But here we are now into round 8, and Kotochigov working his one way or another. He's working his way back into it.
Well, he's given the response you would want. I think from a corner and a fan of his, of course, that's it's just the response you'd want. Is to first of all, he stayed safe, and then he tried to win the rounds back.
Oh, caught there when he was landing his own shot, Kotochigov. He's been hurt again.
Well, he lands a lovely left hook, Kotochigov, but then the left hand there from Hughes was the shot that did all the damage.
And that left eye just starting to swell Kotochigov. He's just starting to get a bit more aggressive, and when he landed a shot of his own, he was exposed by Maxie Hughes.
You sort of don't give Hughes credit for how good the chin he has, to be fair. He's taking some decent shots there. Kotochigov's not a huge puncher, but I think he got enough weight on his shots to make you feel it.
He's been urged on by his corner, Kotochigov.
Oh, good shot, good right hook there from Hughes.
Well, right on that swollen cheekbone just below the left eye. As you can see, that's getting worse by the moment for Kotochigov.
Clever there from Kotochigov. As Hughes throwing the shot, just dipping the head down so he hits him on the forehead, which is the hardest part of the skull. But be careful here, Hughes. I think he's having the better of the round, but he just be careful. He doesn't just wait for that big left hand all the time, because it can give the impression that Kotochigov is being the busier.
I like when he gets off first. I think Hughes is winning the round, but I like when he gets off first. The left hand has worked so well for him. He just landed another one of those uppercuts.
Well, he can punch when Kotochigov punches, because his punches have the bigger effect when they both land.
Oh, he almost whipped in an overhand left there. I think that missed by whiskers. He tried it again, Hughes.
He's trying to stay in the fight, isn't he, Kotochigov here? He's doing the best he can, but every time he gets hit with that big left hand, he just seems in a little bit of trouble.
Good round that from Hughes, just as Kotochigov maybe just building a bit of momentum. Could have been nipped in the bud, and maybe that round, maybe that just a potential sealer for Maxie Hughes. Well, he hurt him again, Barry, and that's, well, he put him down in the third, he wobbled him in the fourth, and there again in the eighth. And Maxie Hughes, the memorable punches all the way throughout the fight.
Yeah, the biggest moments of the fight are all from Maxie Hughes. That doesn't always tell the tale of how the fight was scored, of course, but in this fight it actually does. But yeah, just
10 seconds.
Look, Kotochov's always looking to be the busier, but again in that round the quality work was from Maxie Hughes.
Round 9.
Into the 9th round then, 2 more to go. I've got Maxie Hughes by 3. I think Barry might have it 1 wider by 4. But either way, I think it appears, certainly the way we've seen it so far between us, it does appear that Коточигов needs a pretty big response in the final couple of rounds, and you can't blame him for the way he's tried through the second half of the fight.
I like Коточигов more than I ever have, actually, because I think he's ticked the few. He might be losing the fight on my card, and if it goes the way it is, Maxie Hughes gets the win, and deservedly so. But I think Коточигов has ticked a few boxes here. That he's a tough kid, suspect maybe with on the chin, possibly, who knows, but he's tried to fire back under a little bit of adversity for the first time, and that's the thing you can't teach. But for Maxie Hughes, it's not quite an Indian summer, I would say, because he's not really old, but you know, he's having a real resurgence in his career.
He just copped a right hand there, Maxie Hughes. Just a reminder, there's no place for complacency, particularly when you see the sort of appetite and the desire that Viktor Коточигов has shown tonight. He was in real difficulty in the 3rd and 4th rounds particularly, and you wouldn't have been shocked or surprised if Maxie Hughes had ended it in the middle part of this fight, but Kotochigov's found a way back into it, slightly put back in his place in the previous round, but still coming forward, still trying in the closing rounds.
Well, I think it's a bit of Kotochigov's resilience, and also because Max Hughes is not a big puncher, then he didn't go all out, didn't have that confidence maybe to just go for broke, which I think was a sensible option, by the way. Because again, I think it's been another really good, intelligent performance here from Maxie Hughes. Boxing smart, but always make sure he's safe. And obviously they've studied Kotochigov with his movements, and that they've seen from that lean over to the right side, he's open to that left uppercut, and that's been the game changer for him in this fight.
Hughes the one who's hanging on here. Kotochigov's trying to wriggle himself free.
Good jab there though from Hughes. Because he's not stepping in with that jab though, Hughes. When he does throw the 1-2 after the single jab, he's a little bit too far out of distance.
One more round to go. Maybe just starting to tire a little in that round, Maxie Hughes. I wouldn't be surprised if the punch that said he'd thrown more power punches in this fight, Barry, than he has in previous fights
in his career.
Yeah, maybe by some way, you know. What did you think of that previous round?
It was tight. Yeah, it was really tight. I think Kotochigov was probably the busier for me, maybe. But Hughes, Hughes is. It's a funny one there, because you tend to think, you never know in boxing, but you tend to think, you just got to stay safe now, hasn't he? That's the important part. Just like he has throughout the fight. Sensible work. Don't do anything too crazy. Your fight's yours to lose, you would feel. But that's how we see it. I think they're right, but.
Your 10th and final round.
Final round then. Been a good contest, definitely lived up to expectations. Viktor Коточигov looked in terrible trouble in the 3rd and 4th rounds, but he's kind of scrapped and clawed his way back into it. Not quite enough on our scorecards as he lands a body shot at the start of this. A little bit of roughhousing there for Kotochigov, and Maxie Hughes may be guilty of holding on. Perhaps they'll feel that the job's done, which is always dangerous in this game.
I wonder whether Hughes has felt any power. He hasn't shown it, whether he's felt any of the shots that Коточигов has thrown. Whether he's felt his power. Because if he haven't, and you think, no, it would be maybe, just to seal it, though I think he's done enough anyway. He could let his hands go if he got it. The footwork, he looks like he's still got a bit of energy. The footwork's pretty good here from Hughes. Boxing well.
Generally had a good chin, hasn't he? He was stopped in 8 by Sam Bowen for the British title a couple of years ago, but Bowen was
big puncher.
And Bowen was irresistible during that run as well. It nose damage when he was stopped one of his 3 fights with Martin J. Ward, but otherwise he's generally tough, durable. Went the distance with Liam Walsh. We saw that fight on ESPN Plus about a year or so ago as well, and I think he's in the form of his life.
But no, those tough, durable, decent, you don't describe him like that anymore, because he was winning. You remember him for the losses against good opposition and how well he did. Now he's winning.
Let me ask you this, Barry, do you think, suddenly Maxie Hughes gets the backing of a big promotional outfit, he's in a good gym, he's still working, I think, full-time. It's not as if he's a full-time pro, which lots of others have the luxury of, but do you think there are other guys there around various countries who, were they to get suddenly the opportunities in the backing that he's getting, maybe they could start to deliver these sort of performances too?
Well, yeah, of course. Luck's the biggest part of anything in boxing. So that bit of luck of having people who believe in you, who back in, and obviously have time to not to go to work. Yeah.
I suppose what I'm saying is this has probably always been there.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Коточигов, though, has given it absolutely everything. Maxie Hughes it is who spins away, raises his arms aloft, and he and Hagen and his team will feel that they have certainly done enough. Last couple of rounds may be difficult to score, Barry. It seems strange to think that suddenly if Коточигов had scored a knockdown in that round, it actually could have got quite tight potentially on the scorecards, assuming it's gone the way we've seen it.
Well, it could have, but he did have that. I think he had that lead by the midway stage, Maxie Hughes. So I think in those last few rounds they probably felt this, and let's just stay safe, don't make any silly mistakes, and we can skate home for a win. If that's how it turns out, I think he has. I think he's done more than enough, to be fair. Either way, it's been a good fight. I think whatever happens, if Коточигов doesn't get the win, which I don't think he deserves, I think he's shown more in this fight than have you seen in previous. He's shown an appetite to want to try and claw the fight back. He got him off the floor when he's hurt. He went to jump up, and then obviously he had that mindset to realise that just to compose myself. All these things are good things that you want to see. You don't want to see a fighter get hurt, but when he does, you want to see him act in the right, responsible way, and he has. But the fact that he was hurt by a guy who's not really a puncher in Maxie Hughes, even though they were well-delivered shots, might put a little question mark over Kotochigov's chin, of course. But it was a good contest. I think we've had some good fights tonight. There's been no band burners exactly, but there's been some good competitive fights, some good. One upset for sure, obviously with Blaine Highland, and maybe in a lot of people's eyes, if Maxie Hughes gets this would be deemed possibly as another upset.
And we've got a couple of big fight nights coming for you on ESPN Plus and IFL TV in the coming month or so as well. Lee McGregor, the unbeaten Scotsman, European title fight against Guerfi. That promises to be an absolute cracker. And European champion on these shores as well, a challenge for a world title. Jay Harris, he's going to be fighting Michael McKinson in action as well in the coming weeks. So a couple of interesting, good-looking bills we're going to be broadcasting over the coming month.
I think that in lockdown, the MTK shows have been so competitive. They've been fantastic. Really been a revelation.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the official result, let's hear for both boxers in what was a fantastic contest. And after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Francisco Aloza Rosa scores about 96 to 93. Gary Kitanovsky scores about 97 to 92. And Ahmed Saeed scores about 95 to 94. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And new WBC International Lightweight Champion, Maxie Maximus Hughes.